Hi there, I recently finished these and I want to talk about them. I want to show them off as well, of course, and tell you about what I did. So I was asked to build a group of Morlock Terminators, which are Iron Hand elites, and they wear Cataphractii, I still can't pronounce it, Cataphractii armour, which is this very cool Terminator plate armor with the ribbons on it. It's one of the Horus Heresy era armors, and I really like it because it's so bulky. So I might be using it a little bit more in the future. So I was asked to make a captain and 4 Terminators, and next to that a Lord Executioner and a Dreadnought. And the Dreadnought I kept for last before I started building it. I started out with the Morlocks and then the Lord Executioner. The Lord Executioner is based on the Tech Marine, the Primaris Tech Marine model, and I swapped out some bits. So what I did is this leg here is the believe it or not, it's the toe connector from an Adeptus Titanicus Warlord Titan, which I had left over. So I used that, and I think they make some pretty great bionics. So I added some claws to it, and of course a skull because we're 40k, right? And I reposed the legs in order to make him about to leap. That was the plan, at least. And this is the standard Tech Marine X. I didn't do much about that, but I did give him an iron halo. I think this one is from the Electro Priests from the Adeptus Mechanicus range, and these gorgeous wings, which are some resin bits which I had lying around. They're not produced anymore, unfortunately. I think they're quite lovely, but it's yeah, I might have to scratch build some of my own next time. And this, the engine, I took this idea from the Blood Angel Guard, the golden shiny guys who have one single engine and 2 wings. I didn't have such an engine, so what I did is I took an old Chaos Warp tail and jump pack, which are 2 of these together, and I cut one off. So this is half of a jetpack from the Chaos Space Marines. And yeah, that's basically it. So I added a dead Chaos Space Marine on the base and some stuff next to it. And yeah, I really like the pose and how it turned out. It really seems to be he's about to jump off and cut somebody else in half with his huge executioner axe. Yeah, so that was I think this is the first that I completely finished, because the Terminator team was quite a bit bigger. I mean, it's 6 Terminators with a mix of weaponry. So there's lightning claws, 2 of these. There's axes and guns, and this is a sergeant. So I made him stand out with the by having some servo arms. And this is a captain. So I gave him a plasma something gun, a really big axe, and a servo skull, and also an iron halo from the same kit. So it's the same iron halo as this one, but I just I cut off a bit of either end to make it shorter. Yeah, and so as I said, I really like this plated Cataphractii armor. But these were made, I mean, this kit was designed before the Primaris Terminators, or the Primaris Space Marines came out. So if you build them as they are, they're actually the height of standard Terminators, which is not really the same size as a Primaris Space Marine. So I made them a bit higher, just to make them stand a bit taller. Here's a comparison with a Primaris, and it's actually quite close now. So and the only thing I actually did was I just increased the waist height, which was enough to make the additional bulk, and I lowered the arms slightly. I made another video about that and that process, so you can I'll link to it. You can look it up. I really like the results. It came out quite cool. These claws, this is a question I get a lot, where are these claws from? So the top half is the original lightning claws, as you can see here. So this is the original lightning claw from Cataphractii Terminator, and I cut off the bottom half of here, and this is a warp talon claw from the same kit that I got that engine from, right? So I cut off the bottom half of two of those claws, and I stuck them to these, and that's it. I really like the look of it. Looks far more. These look far more menacing than these ones. In my ID. So what I also did to these Terminators, I gave them some new. Some of them I gave some new knee joints. So this is the standard kneecap, and here I green stuffed another one. This one also got a bionic leg. It's just the same bit as the Lord Executioner, and this one got a bionic leg actually from a Adeptus Titanicus Knight, which is absolutely the right size for Space Marines. So that was a nice fit. And I also made one with just the bottom half of it. Let me see. Oh, no, that was that one. No, here. I don't even know my own conversions anymore. So this is only the bottom half. So here I took the whole leg, and here I only added it to the bottom half of the leg. And I joined some green, added some green stuff to the joint. Yeah, for the rest there's lots of bits. I had some fun painting these shields. I like these shields. I also stuck one of the shields to the leg and used it as a kneecap. And here I added some skulls to the kneecap as well. That was a nice touch, I thought. Yeah, and then the painting. So if you look up the classic Iron Hands paint scheme, it's black and metal and white, and I think that looks very cool, but it doesn't really translate well to tiny miniatures. I mean, if you only paint those colors on this size miniatures and you step away from the table a bit, it will become one blob basically. there's not enough contrast, and there's not enough color jumping out. At least that's my opinion, right? So feel free to go for it, of course. But I needed a contrasting, or like a color to make them pop. And I first, so I decided that I wanted to have a couple of details with a different color. First I tried going for green, like the green Sons of Medusa, I think, is the successor chapter to the Iron Hands. They're very strong green, so I tried that. But that didn't work for me. I didn't really like it. So instead I turned to orange. I made it orange, fading into red. And yeah, really worked for me. I like how it turned out. I still used green for some details to make some spot colors to make them pop, mainly the eyes and the plasma effect on the cannon from the captain as well, and the all specs here. So there was some just to have even more contrast. And I did a lot of checkerboards, which was fun, one might call it. Painting checkerboards. I'm going to do it more often in the future, but it's an acquired taste basically. I also freehanded some signs, like the Iron Hands icon. They have it, and some other stuff. Yeah, quite happy with how these turned out. So the other question I got from the painting is what's the color of the metal? That was so easy. The only thing I actually did was I spray painted them silver as a base coat, and then I washed it with Basilicanum gray, and you're basically done after that. I mean, I added some sepia and agrex just to get some interesting visuals, but for the metal it's not really necessary. That metal color is really bright and shiny, and I thought it fitted very well with the Iron Hands. So that was a cool experiment that worked out quite well. Yeah, and then there's this guy, the big one, the Dreadnought. I built this one last, well, I started while making the Terminators, but I got to the final IDs and finished them up really at the end. And when I first wanted to make an Iron Hands Dreadnought, I thought, okay, I'll make this really mechanical, so with a big servo arm, like a Tech Marine, but then 5 times bigger, basically. So with lots of mechanical components sticking out, and claws, and servo arms, and tentacles, and whatever. But while I was making the rest of the squad, I thought, because it's the base model is a Redemptor Dreadnought, and I thought, why shouldn't I try to make the Redemptor Dreadnought look like a Cataphractii Terminator, and have him be like one of the guys from the squad, but then built into a Terminator. So I mimicked that shield on one shoulder, and I tried to make the plates in a similar fashion, so it's layered plates, the bottom one and the top one, and then these strips, I don't know what you call them. And the other thing I wanted to have is a flaring shin. So how do you call it? I don't know. So if you look at the bottom leg of a Terminator, it's tapering outwards to the downside, right? So it needs to be a little bit triangular to the bottom. And when I was looking for bits, I found, just like I found these bits from my Warlord Titan, I found this one as well. I thought I'll just stick it on and see whether it works with the blue tech, right, while sketching. And it fits so well that I actually didn't change my mind afterwards. I tried some other stuff before that as well, didn't really work. This one was just such a good fit. The only thing I had to do is I had to cut away a little bit of the inside to make it fit, and then I could just glue it in place. So the legs are simply Redemptor legs. There's no difference. I only left off the front plate that's usually there, and I stuck this one on, and that's it. Very simple bit swap, and it really changes the look of the miniature a lot. And the shoulders. So these are actually, the top plates are actually the shoulder plates that come with the miniature, which are usually stuck on the sides. So I just rotated them and cut off the front. The inner plates are plasticard, which I bent into shape. And these plates are plasticard as well, which I had to, so I tried to mimic this, that inner rim as well. Yeah, so it's all bent plasticard, and I drilled some holes and added some rivets to it to get a similar visual style. And I kept the painting scheme the same as well, so just to make it look like part of the squad. So lots of checkerboards, orange inner armor plates, and black. That's it. Oh yeah, one other touch that I gave every miniature as well is one red cable. That just happened while painting, because I wanted to have something that would stand out as well, a little bit more from all the metal. So besides the orange plate, there's also one red cable on every miniature, just to have some visual distinction between all the cables as well. Because if you paint all the cables the same color, they will just blur into one thing. Yeah. Let me see, I think that's all. The base was went quite quickly as well, so I just stuck up some dead chaos stuff and an old Space Marine too, and painted it like a brown, dusty rubble wasteland, basically, with some nice tufts. And yeah, that's it. So this dead guy here is also there to give a bit of scale to the Terminator. I mean, the head will give you a little bit of scale as well, but this one really shows how big it is. I mean, it's big. When I saw the photos of the Redemptor, I never imagined it to be this big, but it's huge. And I love it. It's a lovely model. Ah, the claws as well, by the way. These are from the claws from the Warlord Titan too. I took quite a bit of bits from the Warlord Titan. I mean, these were just spare parts, And all the leg bits are only spare because I made something else out of the legs. That was a project from a while ago. I made a sort of Imperator Titan warlord. I'll show a picture and you guys you know what I mean. But I replaced a lot of the plates from the warlord by from the Spires kit. So I just had a lot of plates left. It's not that I bought a warlord Titan just to be able to make this conversion. It would be cool though, but I didn't. Yeah, that's it. I think that's all I want to tell. Let me see. Yeah, it was a very cool cool little project. The conversion had some nice ideas which just popped up while doing it. And yeah, I think the pose of this one is just very cool. Yeah, Cataphractii Terminator is really lovely miniatures. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon. Goodbye.